12 foods that grow in weird places around the world. A young father once asked his little girl where coffee comes from. His little girl responded, "From a can, of course." When you stop to think about it, there are a lot of different foods with unique origins that we take for granted almost every day. Whether it be a spice from another region of the world to the ingredients in your morning cup of coffee, many of these things come from regions where child labor, slavery, and unfair work environments tend to get overshadowed by production. Politics aside, this video is to inform the reader about various food plants and their historical, botanical origins. Now, keep watching for 12 foods that will prove to all of us that we have no idea where our foods come from. Before we begin this video, don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more daily tips like this and turn on notifications so you never miss our new videos. Number 12. Sesame seeds. Sesame is a flowering plant that is native to tropical regions near the equator. The countries that the world's largest producers of sesame seeds are India and Sudan. It's one of the oldest oilseed crops known in all of humanity. It grows in large capsules, almost like peas, and is harvested for baked goods around the world. Number 11. Pistachios. Pistachios are members of the cashew family and originate from growing regions in the world around Central Asia and Middle East. The pistachio actually is the seed of the tree, which comes from a beautiful flower. Speaking of food that most of us have no idea where they come from, are you curious about what some of the most dangerous foods in the world are? Stick around until the end and you'll find out. Number 10. Vanilla. One of our favorite flavors actually comes from a flowering orchid plant. This species has been cultivated for centuries, and its origin roughly stems from the early Totanic people in Mexico, who are said to be the first to cultivate the plant. When the Aztecs took over the Totanic culture, they developed a taste for the plant and called it the black flower, for it turns black shortly after cultivation. Number 9. Kiwi. Kiwi fruit grows on vines, like grapes. The fruit is a commercially grown crop from virtually everywhere in the world, including China, Italy, New Zealand, Chile, Greece, and France. The fruit is native to most of China, and the original name for the popular fruit was the Chinese gooseberry. Number 8. Peanuts. Known for their edible seeds, many don't realize that peanuts are actually quite a beautiful looking flower. The seeds are classified as an oil crop for its high oil content. In 2014, world production of the crop saw about 42 million tons grown and distributed. That's a lot of nuts. Number 7. Brussels sprouts. The origin of this bizarre-looking plant famously comes from Brussels, Belgium, where the plant gained its name. It's a relative of the cabbage family, but instead of growing closer to the ground, these pods grow upwards from the ground, sprouting edible buds that we have all come to love and hate. Number 6. Almonds. The almond tree is a species of a tree native to the Middle East and parts of North America. The seed itself grows in the fruit of the tree, called the drupe, which is a hard shell that grows around the almond, which is not actually a seed. Believe it or not, almonds are more closely related to peaches than actual nuts. Number 5. Cinnamon. This spice comes from the inner bark of trees called cinnamomum. This spice has been around for so long, it was first recorded in history to be imported into Egypt as early as 2000 BCE. This aromatic can be seen in cultures and history around the world. Just think, now we snort it for fun to make viral videos on the internet. Number 4. Saffron. There's a reason why this spice is so expensive. Saffron, which comes from the flower Saffron crocus, is carefully harvested by hand. Saffron grows and is cultivated from the west of Spain all the way to east of India. Number 3. Cashews. These strange-looking fruits are actually cashews from the cashew tree. This tropical evergreen tree produces these large cashew seeds and cashew apples. Not only do people consume the cashew nuts worldwide, believe it or not, the cashew apple can also be used to make a sweet fruit drink or even liquor. Number 2. Coffee. This marvelous plant has been around since the earliest recorded history. Legend has it that the Oromo people in Kaffa in Ethiopia were believed to be the first to recognize the caffeine effects in the plant, but this is yet to be proven. Coffee comes from the cherry of a coffee plant, where the coffee bean is harvested from the inside and later roasted to make your familiar cup of joe. There are several growing regions for coffee around the world, including Latin America, Africa, and Asian Pacific regions. The plant grows closest to the Earth's equator. Number 1. Chocolate. The cacao bean is the dried and fermented seed of the cacao, from which cocoa butter and chocolate come from. There is a long and convoluted process of growing and manufacturing chocolate, but mainly chocolate comes from these strange-looking seed pods that grow in hot, rainy climates near the equator. Now that you know how some of your favorite food is grown, here are some of the most dangerous foods in the world that people still eat today. Would you eat cheese filled with maggots, or shark meat that tastes like urine, or a fish 1,000 times more toxic than cyanide? All 3 of these foods are on the list of the world's most dangerous foods, and all 3 of them are still immensely popular. Some of these foods are illegal, some of them are just highly regulated, some of them are delicious. Others are widely considered disgusting. See the aforementioned pea-flavored shark. What all of them have in common is that people eat them, even though they're dangerous or even deadly. What would spur someone to eat some of the world's most dangerous foods? Well, keep watching to find out. Number 8. Fugu. The poster child for tasty toxins, the fugu, or blowfish, is so toxic without proper preparation that restaurants' prep of the famous fish is heavily regulated in its native Japan. The culprit is the neurotoxin called tetrodotoxin, which shuts down nerve signaling. It's 1,200 times more toxic than cyanide, and there's enough of it in a fugu to kill someone if the toxic parts aren't removed. Number 7. Hakarl. This Icelandic delicacy, where a raw Greenland shark is cured and dried for 6 months, is dangerous if proper preparation isn't followed. That's because Greenland sharks filter their waste through their skin, meaning that the skin is likely to be filled with toxic substances like urea. Number 6. Akey. This red-orange fruit is common in West Africa and Jamaica, and it splits open when it's fully ripe. You really don't want to eat it before it splits because the unripe flesh carries a toxin called hypoglycin, which stops the body from converting food into simple sugar, resulting in dangerously low blood sugar, hypoglycemia. Clinically, Akey poisoning has the charming name of Jamaican vomiting sickness. Number 5. Cassava. Native to South America, cassava root is delicious when cooked, but when eaten uncooked or without fermentation, it releases an enzyme that turns another chemical in the root into cyanide. There's enough cyanide in improperly cooked cassava to give someone a case of acute cyanide intoxication. Number 4. Pangeum edule. Also known as the football fruit, the Pangeum fruit is toxic enough that they have to be boiled and then fermented while buried in ash and banana leaves for 40 days. That gives enough time for the hydrogen cyanide to finish being washed out of the fruit itself or the seeds. Number 3. San Nagi. This Japanese preparation of raw, long-arm octopus isn't poisonous, like many of the others on the list. But since the fish is killed right before being presented, the octopus' complex nervous system means that the tentacles can still twitch. That presents a problem to the careless diner, with the potential for flailing suckers to stick to the inside of an esophagus. People have actually died this way. Number 2. Kazu Marzu. An Italian delicacy, this sheep's milk cheese is filled with live maggots capable of launching themselves up to 6 inches. Because the maggots are capable of jumping, and because the cheese is considered best eaten with the still living maggots in it, diners are advised to hold their hands over their food to prevent the maggots from leaping out at their eyes. But the real problem happens if the maggots are able to survive the whirlwind tour through the digestive system, as they can make a cozy little home in your intestines and cause nausea, vomiting, and blood-filled diarrhea. Number 1. Hot dogs. Eaten in the barbaric wilderness known as North America, the hot dog, made of processed meat, is the top cause of food-related choking deaths in children under 3. The problem is the food's cylindrical shape. It is perfectly suited to lodge in a small esophagus. What do you think? Which food surprised you the most from this video? Let us know in the comments section below. Enjoyed this video? Hit the like button and share with your friends. Also, subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. Thanks for watching.